All right, today we are diving deep into a really terrifying piece of modern internet folklore. It's a story that kicks off with a bizarre signal from the bottom of the Atlantic and wraps up with a question that'll make you rethink humanity's place on this planet. So let's get into it.
The story just grabs you right from the get-go with this one line. I mean, think about that for a second. It completely flips the script on how we see the world. We think we're in charge, right? But this suggests, nope, we're just renting the place, and the real owner is asleep right under our feet. It's the perfect way to set up a story built on that deep cosmic dread.
So, how do you even start a story like this? Well, the first part doesn't begin with a monster jumping out at you. It starts with a puzzle that seems totally unsolvable. And that's a classic horror move, right? It just sucks you in because your brain is desperate to figure out what's going on.
And here it is, the thing that starts it all. A 30-second audio clip gets leaked from some forbidden, no-go zone deep in the Atlantic. And what makes this so effective, so creepy, is what you don't hear. You're expecting screams, maybe, but no. Instead, it's the raw, visceral sound of bones snapping, and then a single, final, heavy, wet breath.
And then you get this. The last thing on the recording, just 2 words, spoken in this voice you can't quite place. What's so clever is how the story uses this phrase. It's the mystery that kicks things off. And, as you're about to see, it's also the final horrifying confirmation at the very end. So you can't just let a signal like that go unanswered, can you? So the story gives us our team, our vehicle for this whole journey. Project Nemesis. It's this top-secret mission with a super-advanced submarine, the Titan X, and the world's best deep-sea divers. This gives us our heroes, and the vessel that's going to take us and them straight into the abyss. Okay, so this is where things start to get really weird. We're in the second act now, and the tension just gets cranked up to 11. The story starts peeling back the layers of reality, just breaking the known laws of nature one by one to create this deep, profound sense that something is fundamentally wrong. Just look at this timeline of their journey down. It's brilliant. At 1,000 meters, all light is gone, pitch black. At 3,000, their external sensors start to glitch out and fail. Then they pass 8,000 meters, which is the official, known depth of the ocean floor right there, but they just keep going down. This impossible depth is designed to make the characters and us feel completely and utterly alone.
And as they go deeper, the world outside the sub becomes actively hostile. The temperature starts to rise when it should be getting freezing cold. The water itself changes, becoming thick and sticky, like oil or even blood. You see, these aren't just cheap jump scares, they are carefully picked details, all designed to build this suffocating atmosphere of dread.
All right, brace yourselves because this is the story's first huge turning point. Every unsettling thing we've seen so far has been building to this exact moment, where the story just throws the sci-fi mystery rulebook out the window and dives headfirst into pure cosmic horror.
After falling to an unbelievable 15,000 meters, the sonar finally pings. They found a floor. I mean, can you imagine the relief? The crew, us, we all take a breath. Their searchlights cut through the dark and light up what looks like a huge, flat plain of beautiful white sand. But the story is just setting us up. Because as they get a closer look, they realize that's not sand. Not even close. It's made of millions and millions of bones. Whale bones, bones from ancient sea creatures, human bones. And sitting right in the middle of it all, perfectly preserved ships from the 1600s, looking like they just sank yesterday. The story is just piling the impossible on top of the impossible.
But the real horror of this scene isn't the bone field. It's not even the ghost ships. It's the moment the crew realizes that the ground underneath them is slowly rising and falling. It's not rock, it's not sand, it's skin. They haven't reached the bottom of the ocean. They've landed on something that's alive.
And with that reveal, the mystery is over. But the real horror is just beginning. We're in the main climax now, a direct showdown with this thing of unimaginable size. And the danger instantly shifts from what's outside the sub to what's inside their heads.
The story just goes for it with this imagery, and it's absolutely insane. An eye opens in the abyss, and it's described as being as large as a city. Its pupil is like a black hole, just sucking in all the light. This isn't a monster you can fight. This is a geological feature that just woke up and noticed you.
And this is what makes this creature so uniquely terrifying. It's not driven by normal hunger. The Leviathan doesn't want their bodies, it feeds on their fear. It attacks the crew telepathically, making each person live through their own deepest, most personal terrors. The threat isn't just outside anymore, it's inside their own minds.
So what do you do when you're trapped at the bottom of the world being mentally tortured by a god-sized creature? There's no escape. The story knows this, so it shifts from pure terror to this moment of tragic, desperate heroism as the crew makes one last, final choice.
Their plan is a total sacrifice. They know they aren't making it out alive. Their one and only goal now is to overload the sub's nuclear reactor. They're hoping the explosion will be so massive, it'll literally blast their black box, their final warning to the world, all the way back to the surface.
And the result? It's described as a sun literally igniting in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean. The explosion is so huge it creates 100-foot waves on the surface, and the creature lets out this psychic scream so powerful it kills whales 5,000 kilometers away. The scale is just biblical.
And that brings us to the end. But there's no relief here, no happy ending. Instead, the story concludes with this terrifying idea that humanity didn't solve a problem. We just made it 1,000,000 times worse. So in the aftermath, they find the black box. And what are the pilot's last words? The same 2 words from the very beginning. I am awake. The story comes full circle. And then you see the fallout. The Atlantic is slowly turning red. All over the world, weird, alien-looking sea creatures are starting to wash ashore. And this is the story's final gut punch. It takes a real-world fear we all have, rising sea levels, and gives it a whole new, horrifying cause. The water isn't rising because the ice caps are melting. It's rising because that massive thing we just nuked is angry, and it's on its way up.
So the narrative just leaves us with this final, chilling question. What's actually scarier? The monster we never even knew was there, or the consequences of waking it up? It's a heavy thought, and it's the perfect, terrifying note to end on.